Out of nowhere, question of the week, Chano. As you know, your guy Pepsi Phil was at NXT. Then he went to PC, helped train a little bit. If you were a wrestler at PC, what kind of things would you be asking Mr. CM Punk himself?
Character work. Honestly, first and foremost, I feel like anybody can learn how to have a good match with enough reps and experience. You know what I mean? But character work is like one of those things that's becoming so hard to do in this industry, especially like good promos that come off believable with your character work. Like I love to hate on Drew McIntyre because I don't believe in his character work. So that'll probably be the first thing I ask him. How do I probably develop my character so I can become a better sports entertainer for WWE? You know what I mean?
Drew's character work. You don't believe in his character work. You don't
No, man. He's not a real villain.
Oh man, he's nasty. He's mean. let me behave. Let me behave. I'm on y'all. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, man.
Drew's very old school wrestler type. With a modern moveset, I feel like he's classic.
Perfect. Fine.
Listen, he's talented in the ring, man. I just don't believe in Drew being a bad guy. It's just not. Like, you know what I mean? Honestly, it's the leather kilt. It's the leather kilt. I don't believe bad guys wear leather kilts.
We always get back to this leather kilt. It always comes back to the kilt.
It always does. It sounds like Chano's going to be asking CM Punk, "How do I not become Drew McIntyre?"
Answer might be no leather kilt.
Hey, we have Brian H. Waters in the building with us. We're going to go ahead and talk a lot of wrestling, but let's just go ahead and start our show.
Testicles are the size of grapefruits. Whoa!
What is going on, Ringsiders? Your favorite faction is back. I'm Marcus Hernandez. I'm with Brandy Savage. We're with Chano Hayes. The Zombie King couldn't make it tonight. He's celebrating his birthday with his brother. Happy birthday to the Zombie King brother. But we are with a very special guest. A lot of people know him as the super producer from the Ring of Wrestling show, Wednesday Worldwide. You can catch him also on Wrestle Realm. You can catch him on his YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, we are with Mr. Brian H. Waters.
What's going on? Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure, man. Thanks you. Appreciate it.
One of my favorite things was watching Brian react to our theme music.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I love a good theme music, though. And then hearing clips I ain't heard in years. Oh man,
only
hilarious.
Stuff the boss man could get away with. That's why it's on.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
But Mr. Brian, for our ringsiders who don't know who you are, how do you describe who is Brian H. Waters?
Oh man, that's a great question. Look, I'm a wrestler fan at heart, since day one. Literally, my mother said that, she knew I was gonna be a boy because I was kicking in the womb, and sure enough, my uncle, shout out to my Uncle Troy, we're 11 years apart, so he was more like a big brother, and I will always watch wrestling with him. And at one point, when I was there, he was cutting my hair, so every time I was getting a haircut, it was WCW Saturday Night on television, or a tape of the recent pay-per-view, or WWF Superstars. So, I just been, a fan of this business. I always love talking with fellow wrestling fans. I like to think the positive side. Of course, the IWC can be negative. I've learned how to filter out my social media to keep away from the negative talk and takes and stuff. Like, of course, some things we like and some things we don't like. But I I like to celebrate wrestling, and I really have a lot of respect for the craft. I've been in the ring as a referee and a special enforcer, and I'm done with that part. Like, it was cool. Shout out to Jay Bougie doing stuff with his career and stuff, but like those days are over. But like being right there when you seeing people smack each other, it's like it's not fake. I hate the F word. I'm offended when people call it fake, because it's predetermined, sure, but the hits are real. Like you see what people put their bodies through. So I'm a wrestling fan at heart and a proud one. I know, like, we have a shirt called the Proud Wrestling Fan over at the Wrestling Realm, and it's one of those things we wear proudly because there's people out there who are closet fans, and I learned that when I was in school with me and my co-host, the real Dwayne Allen. We went to college together at Morgan State University, and around the time when The Rock came back, we was talking about in the middle of the hallway, and people walking past, and then they like waited till they were like so many feet away, and it was like, I saw that too. It's like, you watch wrestling. That's cool. And the more and more we kept talking, and this was the infancy days of the wrestling room, we creating the show, had the idea. We learned that there were people who would come to us, and they only come to us if like they wanted to get their wrestling takes off, and especially at the time when it might not have been as cool to wear a wrestling T-shirt. Well, we was wearing them to school, and it was like kind of transitioning back in that. But I'm talking like John Cena with the Fruity Pebbles era.
Oh man! Oh man!
Yeah, it was around that time. The first run of Angry CM Punk. So Little Jimmy, like I literally had a Little Jimmy shirt and I wore that to school. And then you see the Winged Eagle belt. Like when I got it from when I went to WrestleMania 28. And I remember I was in school and there was people like, "Hey, money on the belt," and it was Dwayne saying, "You put money on it." Yeah, because that's your passion. And he's like, and this is Brian's passion. Is wrestling belt. Oh, he bought a wrestling belt.
That's and now how many do we have?
Oh man, I last counted 24.
Wow.
well, that's nothing. Shout out to the guy, Brandon Guy, the host of Championship Culture, brought to you by the Wrestling Realm. I like to say, if I had to take a guess, he has 115. I tell people when it comes to Brandon, I tell people name the belt, and I can tell you if he don't have it. Like I can see, like Brandy Savage, he don't have Roman's new title yet. He don't have it soon. He don't have it yet.
Why is the new one?
Yeah. And I know he don't got the Andre 87 belt, but everything else he got. And then so me, Hugh, and Dwayne, we benefit because Brandon's very particular, right? So if he get one, like, all right, let's just say, this is my TNT title, right? He had it made. It was a birthday gift a couple years ago. Well, he has the TNA World Heavyweight title. I got because he got a newer one because it was something wrong with it. I wouldn't even be able to tell you, but he noticed it. So he ordered another one. He's like, all right, hey, you want this belt? Cool. And then he'll hit the group chat. Who's due for a belt? And, and like, we on the stream last night, and Dwayne was like, wait, Hugh, hold on. Before you go, because he was supposed to, like, say who his, like, breakout superstar of the year was or whatever, something crazy. And he was like, wait a minute, before you go, when did you get the ECW title? He said, huh? He said, and Brandon's like, oh, he just noticed it. But so that's it, it's a passion of ours, collecting the championships. But when you got a brother who sits up there is very particular, you tend to gain belts. Like let's just say I probably bought 15 of mine, and the rest of them probably came from him. Like, oh yeah, here's this one, here's that one.
He's like, I don't like the way the leather looks on this one. You could just have it.
No, facts. Like, exactly. Like, this is zinc or this is brass. Like, I have a brass open weight championship because he got the zinc one or something like that, and then he gifted us custom Wrestling Realm championships, which is on my
fire.
Yeah,
that is pretty dope.
It was pretty cool. And then we for those Wrestling Girls 5th anniversary, I gifted them custom championship belts, and he was the belt consultant, and he made, he was the person I went through. He got it done.
Nice.
Oh man. That's
So,
a
yeah,
friend definitely to have.
That's right. Yeah,
if
definitely
y'all
is a
looking
friend.
for if y'all looking for a belt for the pod, you know, you this money.
Gonna have to go
And
talk.
he's the type of
Go
he's
ahead.
very particular too. He's going to make sure it's tailored to your liking. When he talks to the people who's making it, he's going to be like, "No, it needs to be like this." I was like, because I'm nervous. I need I was on a deadline for TWG's belt. I'm like, look, I need to get this. And the anniversary is November 4th. We need to get these belts done. Yeah. I'm like, Brandon, what's the deal? And then, bottom of the ninth inning, we got it done. So, and they were surprised. So it was great.
That's awesome.
Lovely. That is awesome. Who's your favorite wrestler of all time?
Edge Edge dropped out of my top 10. Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart.
Nice.
Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with either, honestly.
So it was Daniel Bryan, right? It was Hogan, Bret. Then the Yes Movement happened, and I felt a connection. And I was like, it was Daniel Bryan. But then this year I realized, I think I jumped the shark a little too much. And the fact that I realized that I like Daniel Bryan. I love Daniel Bryan. I really, really like Bryan Danielson, but it's not that same connection. All right, I talked to him when we did the Ringer. The Masked Man interviewed him a couple years ago, right? And I wasn't the full-time producer for the Masked Man yet. I was just doing the other show that we had on our network. And I remember Kerm, shout out to the Babyface producer, he was like, "Hey man, I can't make it. Can you cover it?" And I was like, "Oh shoot, it's Danielson." But I didn't get that mark out moment. And I was like, maybe because he's just such a regular guy. And I was like, "Hey Brian, give me a check." He's like, "Check." And I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. But it just, he's still my guy. He's still up there. He's just not my favorite. It's, it's Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan. My Winged Eagle is actually signed by Bret Hart. I met him at a signing. So yeah.
Nice. Who's somebody you like watching right now?
Tribal Chief. Roman Reigns.
Hey, ones up.
We throw the ones up. Roman will probably end up in my top 3. When I read through the list or revisit it, he might pass Hogan and Bret. But also, just the Dominic Mysterio, I'm a huge fan of. Love all the work that he's doing. I really like Lash Legend. As far as the future, I really like. She had her moment that night when she body slammed Otis. Mm-hmm. So she's somebody. And those a few. Santos Escobar. I was just listening to him talk to Freddie Prinze Jr.'s other co-hosts, and there's been so you had Eddie Guerrero, you had Rey Mysterio. And it was kind of that void they was looking to fill. And I finally feel like you got that next superstar. You had great wrestlers, as far as, luchadors and stuff. But Santos Escobar, he has that crossover appeal. He has the look that just screams he's got it. If Dusty was here, he would tell him he got it the same way he told Roman he has it.
Couldn't lose it if you dropped it.
I knew somebody was going to do it.
Well, that's perfect. Thank you. Like I said, once again, we it's an honor to have you, sir. You said you see yourself as a regular person, but the 3 of us, we don't see you as a regular person. So this is really big for us,
man.
For sure.
Let's go ahead, Brandy. What you got for SmackDown? Let's kick it off this week. Tell us what you liked and what you didn't like.
Man, SmackDown was one of the first times I think they did the tribute to the Troop on the actual SmackDown, and that was pretty interesting take with the crowd being the entire arena being Army people, and vets and stuff. I think the show started off with Charlotte Flair and Asuka, and man, I am not like that. Shout out to Charlotte for really finishing the match, but you could tell she really got hurt, man, and that was unfortunate. And we really wish you would get well soon, Charlotte. I'm hearing months right now, so I'm hoping she's back for Mania. And then we had the United States #1 contenders matches. Santos Escobar and Dragon Lee. That was a banger. And I love I just love Dominic Mysterio just being out there. Like,
Yeah.
I think a couple weeks ago on NXT he wasn't talking when he was doing commentary. He's and I don't think they didn't give him a mic this time, but next match we had was the Bobby Lashley Karrion Cross, which was called by the legendary Brad Nessler. And I thought that was really interesting. I think he came out there and was talking about Bobby's service in the service. But the CM Punk promo, guys. Man, we finally because the Raw before we did not get the promo we wanted, and he even alluded to it. He's like, "You could chant my name all day. I'm not getting cut down. Like, I got all the time in the world. Keep going." But yeah, that was fantastic. And then we had the Randy Orton LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa Jimmy Uso match. And I have to say, man, I just love seeing Jimmy Uso take your RKOs. I personally didn't want to see the BFT, and we got to see the RKO, so I was happy about that.
Brian, I do hope you're okay, but me and Brandy are we are known LA Knight haters.
Yeah,
I was getting ready to ask that because either you on one side or the other, and LA Knight was somebody I didn't really like understand, like the big hype. Like even in LA during the SmackDown before Mania, I saw he got a pop, but I didn't really miss him at WrestleMania per se.
No.
I saw it at SummerSlam. I was like, okay, but I don't need him to be my world champion. Like, I wasn't mad at all that he didn't win Money in the Bank, you know. But what's the hate for it?
You want to go first, Brandy?
It's like I don't know where to start. It's not like it's one of those things where it's like I just. The people who say he's like a caricature of The Rock and Stone Cold and all those things, I do happen to agree with them. I think it's like The Rock meets Johnny Bravo crossed together, and it's just out. It doesn't feel genuine to me. I think that's my issue with it. A lot of it just feels like he's really buying into this character, but it doesn't feel like it's him. And he's done a good job of making a new gimmick, or not new because this is Eli with from the beginning. It's the same gimmick he always had, but I'm just not a fan of it. Like it just doesn't pop for me. Like some people pop off the paper, he doesn't do it for me.
Honestly, for me, if you have a strong promo work, I need you to be able to back up your in-ring work just a little bit, just to give me a little pizzazz to work with.
Okay.
And he doesn't do that. And from the beginning, when we first started this podcast, I'm on record saying that Logan Paul's a better wrestler than LA Knight.
Truth.
And I stand I stand by that. Logan's more exciting to watch in the ring.
Stand on business.
Listen, well, what is it? Is stand on business.
Yeah.
But LA, he's just not. Listen, he can talk on the mic, but a lot of his words seem like he says it so much. He doesn't, like Randy said, he doesn't feel like he feels what he's saying at all. The only time I like LA Knight is when he runs out was when he was talking to Top Dollar at MSG, the pre-show, and Top Dollar was talking ish on the Knicks. You know, I'm a big Knicks fan.
Okay.
I'm a big Knicks fan, so when Top Dollar was talking his ish, and LA Knight came out to save the Knicks, I was like, that's my guy.
Yeah, he got some points for that. He had Tim's on. He got some points
Tim's
for that.
on. I was like, that's my guy. But the week after, I was like, nah, I don't want nothing to do with this guy.
I didn't like the Tim's on. Following weeks, I did not like the Timbs anymore. It's just in the garden. I like the Timbs
because my boy Noah always keep pointing them out that they're not real Timbs, and Noah from the
Bronx.
They're
not.
Oh man, don't.
He was like,
I've never fact checked his Timbs, but don't tell me that, bro. Now you're giving me legit reasons.
You know, like I didn't see that part of the MSG show. I got there by the time I walked in and found where I was supposed to be at, it was like a little bit already into the show. It was like the bloodline was just like Roman was just coming out, so I didn't miss that part. But Top Dollar, shout out to him. That's home team down the street. But I'm like, you're not wrong. LA Knight does have a tendency to like stumble over his words when he's trying to cut the promo. It's almost like he says too many words. You know,
Yes.
like I always talk like when he do, it's off, like it's off beat. Like all he gotta do is say, LA Knight. Let the crowd say yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he said, all you got to say is, and everybody's saying, and I'm like, why are you saying yeah? Like, but, I like, we're going to see, he had the match with Roman. Now, sometimes people will say, you kind of get, I don't like to use the word buried, but you kind of get pushed back and, it's kind of hard to take you seriously. Let's see where he goes from here. Is he going to be a Final Four in the Royal Rumble? I think maybe at the end of the day, he might be the one that might be hurt by Punk and Orton coming back, because it's like, oh, well, we got real toys now.
Right.
Wow.
Like, these next couple weeks on SmackDown, or maybe this week and then the first week in January, are going to be so pivotal, because now we're going to really see how much we really care about him still.
Yeah.
And that was my next question. That was my biggest thing. Like, for LA Knight, he was still kind of beefing with Jimmy. Everybody after Roman still beefs with the Bloodline in some type of capacity. You know what I mean? You cousins, you Samoans, you ruined my title opportunity. So it's like, what is it? That's true. What you're saying? What is his next big feud?
I'm gonna give them credit because, and I, I don't really like to go into like how they booked the match, but we've been watching this stuff for a long time. We're not stupid, right?
Right.
And obviously, I know y'all, as we deem on wrestling, y'all are very intelligent wrestling fans. You know that when you see if Roman would have beat him clean, that would have been it. So it's like,
I can get him out of here.
Yeah, you felt better when you see Jimmy come out there and Solo's like, all right, they care about him,
A little bit, right?
Yeah, I was really hoping nobody. I wanted it to be clean. I'm not gonna lie.
You did.
I ain't gonna lie. It was more for Roman, not him, because I'm tired of everybody talking about my tribal chief. I'm one who wants Roman to beat Cody at WrestleMania if that's the match we get.
Listen, I'm here with you. We here with you, brother.
Look, man, Cody can finish the story in Atlanta. Listen to me, WWE. Book Atlanta for WrestleMania. We don't have a home for WrestleMania 41 yet. Put in Atlanta. The last time it was there was trash. Let's be real. Bottom 5 WrestleMania 27. The only thing Undertaker, Triple H gave us a decent match. Miz had the "you can hate me now" moment, and that was it. And then The Rock tried to save the day. They always said, if y'all remember around that time in 2011 when they did the celebration party for The Rock that year, it was like Vince's way of saying, thank you, Rock, for saving WrestleMania. So you got to redeem that city. You did it in Dallas. 32 was an injury-prone WrestleMania. 38 was great.
38 was good.
So do it again. Run Atlanta back. You could build the whole thing around Cody, and he can finish the story. We can run that as 3 years back to back.
That's true.
The only reason I say no is because I do want to see Pepsi Phil against the Tribal Chief.
I would love to see
at
that
a WrestleMania. A match of that magnitude can't be at SummerSlam. You know what I mean? They can't be Survivor Series.
If you want to restore and have the biggest SummerSlam ever, you could do it there, because that would be the first time in a while that you would get like a mega matchup for the first time, right? We got Brock and Roman at SummerSlam twice. Technically, considering the way it is, one of the biggest matches of all time in SummerSlam. You could do that if you do like a first time ever, because I can't remember the last time you had a first time ever match at a SummerSlam outside of like Rock and Booker T.
Right.
But I get what you're saying. And it also, depends on the city.
Yes.
Last year, Detroit was, man, it was fun, but it was, look, they was partying. And it was like, so like usually in wrestling cities, right? When like a show is at a event, it's always, you kind of have like, the stadium is always like out on the outskirts. Like, well, in Chicago, it was the Rosemont, Illinois, so it's further up on, I guess, the north side. In Dallas and in LA, it's on Arlington and Inglewood. No, Detroit was like right there. Like, we walking, leave the show, we seeing cars running up and down, loud music, people jumping. I kid you not. I wish we had, somebody got it on video. They was literally like twerking on the streets at the red lights. It was wild, man. Like, I ain't never gone to the liquor store and been like, people out there like, yo, what's up? I'm like, security in here. Part of the city. And I'm like, and y'all got a nerve to be crying. Y'all ain't get WrestleMania. Y'all ain't getting WrestleMania acting like this. When they made the announcement like WrestleMania Philly, the whole arena, the whole stadium started booing. And I'm like, y'all football fans, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'm like, when did the Lions and the Eagles have beef? And then I was like, wait a minute, because remember, we didn't expect the Lions to be. I don't know if we're gonna call them good because my Ravens put them down.
The Lions are decent.
Man.
The Lions are decent. The Lions are decent.
Yeah, but we didn't expect them to be like this. And then I'm like, wait, so. But then I was like, oh, they mad they didn't get Mania. Got you. Because that's and one of the reporters like, so, Trips, you think about bringing WrestleMania back, you know? So, but yeah, it was wild.
Brandy, you brought up talking about the Charlotte Flair Asuka incident with Charlotte. Like, we assume maybe twisting her knee or maybe tearing something. Let's hope not. My question, I guess, if we want to discuss it a little bit, do you think that spot was Asuka's fault or was it Charlotte's fault?
So there's two spots that she might have hurt herself on. One of them is the where she did the backflip off the apron to the by the announce table, and when she lands, her knee goes inverted and she starts limping immediately. So then they go to commercial break and they do that spot on the turnbuckle. I don't think that's anybody's fault. I think Charlotte was genuinely hurt already when that spot happened, and that just made it worse because you like see her leg get caught up in a rope, and she's like trying to put her like pressure on her leg, and she just couldn't and slips.
Yeah,
I think
that like Brian said, the IWC is like super negative sometimes, and everyone's just trying to point the finger at Asuka. And I think if you really watch that video when they're coming off the top turnbuckle, you really see Asuka trying to like help her coworker. That's they and realize that they kind of both messed up, kind of like that situation with Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio. Everybody blaming one another. Let's just be happy that nothing severely bad happened, and that both of these professionals were able to do their jobs and keep the show going. So, like you said, Charlotte, hopefully you get well soon because you are the queen, and we know when you come back, you're going to get a title. So I'm hyped for that.
For sure.
For sure, right? You know what I mean?
You see them injuries and you talk about that. What y'all think about this Rich Holland? If it's a work. I mean, yeah, if it's a work.
That NXT clip?
Yeah.
Oh, they finally tapping into his evil. That needs to be his gimmick. He's just a guy that just messes up your neck. If you have a good neck, you won't after him.
Because it was a late publish today, so it might not have hit the waves yet. Shoemaker said the same exact thing. So at this point, what can you like? You might as well just lean all the way into it because it's like people ain't going to like. They not gonna like him or whatever. So
right. And there's like
when he had that issue with the brothers. Oh man, yes boy. And he messed up his shoulder. Damn! Oh my God! Twitter was crazy.
Yo,
Twitter was a wild place.
They were going nuts on there.
I want to tag and be like, "Listen, brother, it's okay. These things happen." But it was wasteland.
He had a Draymond cut.
Part of me really feels for Ridge. It's like, I wonder what his face was. If this is a work, I wonder what his face was when they're like, "All right, look, we're gonna go with it. You're gonna be the guy who hurts people." Snitsky style, you know what I mean? Like,
oh my God,
it wasn't my fault. You know, if he comes out with that, it might be great. It really might be great. Hopefully, they're gonna boo him, like you said. They're definitely gonna boo him. So he's just got to ride with it. He's just got to ride with it, embrace it, and hopefully he can turn it into something good. Hopefully he can turn it into a mid-card title run. That'd be pretty cool for him. So,
oh man,
we'll definitely
the ultimate heel. What is he? The male version of Nia Jax?
Oh man!
Jax turned it around, man. She turned it around.
Yeah,
she did turn it around. Chano, how was NXT this week? How'd you end up watching it? I know it was rough for you because your love for NXT is not there.
But honestly, I saw a deadline, so it wasn't that bad for me. Like I thought it was gonna be worse. I'm not gonna hold you. I really thought something about NXT just don't sit right with me, but it was actually really good this week.
What's wrong with NXT?
It's all right.
Who's going to get into it?
No, you're good, man. So Deadline was actually a pretty good show. Me, personally, I enjoyed the Women's Iron Survivor match way more than I enjoyed the men's.
Okay.
Listen, Super Braun Breaker catching 3 pins in like a minute and a half. Gold, because that's the face of NXT right there, man. The big boy just knocking out spears out of nowhere. But I got mixed feelings on Trick, man. Trick coming out with like the Super Saiyan 3 at the end, just charging up and powering up. 4 back-to-back pinfalls. I'm not going to hold you, though. That last pinfall was gross because you got everybody looking at the camera like, do we have enough time?
Bro. Everyone's just staring at the clock.
I literally thought homemade was just gonna lay down in the middle of the ring, like just cover me, please.
That's a reminder that it's developmental right there.
Yeah.
No, I don't mind it. I don't mind it just for that fact. If like NXT was a serious like high grade professional show that wasn't for developmental, I'd be like, oh man, this is terrible. But it's developmental, so everybody gets their flowers there. But one thing with Trick, man, is this the start of a serious push for him, or is this just for the storyline purposes with Melo? Because Melo's in that main event level of NXT. Trick wasn't really there before. He held the North American title for like 3 days before he dropped it. So is this it for Trick to be in the main event from here on out? Because you gotta remember, it's a changing of the guard soon. Braun's coming up, Melo's coming up. Elja, if he's not severely hurt, he's coming up. So what do you guys think?
Shawn Michaels is booking and cooking. And somebody said he's giving us his old stories. That's Diesel and Shawn right there.
It is.
Trick is that dude. And honestly, right now, kind of looks like he got more upside than Melo. But that could also be, my WWE mental programming of like the bigger stuff, like the bigger look, right? Yeah. But Melo, for a while, was like, okay, I need more than just him and putting on good matches. And I'm starting to finally see it. Like, I'm starting to see him kind of look like 94, 95 Shawn Michaels. Before he was looking like, go out there, have a good match. Go have a good match. Boom, boom, boom. Fine. All right. But now I'm starting to see the character come. But Trick, like, he got that it factor. And, and I feel like when I see him, I do see, like, Diesel. Diesel came in and Diesel said it. He had the best seat in the house watching Shawn and Razor every night. So I think, I definitely think this was huge for Trick. I think Melo, when it comes down to it, might need to win more, though. Like, when they go one-on-one, I feel like Melo going to need that win over Trick Williams.
I agree with you. I agree with you for the simple fact is, like you said, Trick looks like a star. Trick looks like a star. He sounds like a star. The only thing holding Trick right back now is his in-ring ability, which is going to get better over time because he's in NXT for a reason. Because I'm not going to hold you. When I think of a Trick Williams match, I think of that bad match he had with Dom. That's when I think of a Trick Williams match. That's what I think of when I think of Trick. I'll be like, little rough. But I do see what you see. I do see the potential for Trick being a big superstar.
Imagine mostly what him and Dragunov going to do. Because Dragunov will carry him. And he's going to make sure.
He's a monster, though. Dragunov's a monster. It's gonna be a great match. But honestly, this is Trick's opportunity to show that he can hang with the big boys.
All you gotta do is listen.
It's a passing of the torch, man.
Just gotta just do like Dom and listen. Just
listen.
Just do like
that's what you can do.
Listen. I mean, you're gonna learn from probably 3 of the best guys on that roster right now. Dragunov being number 1, Braun Breaker, and then Carmella. You just learn from those guys, see what they're doing, because there's a reason why all 3 of those guys are getting recycled as champion, because that's all they got. You're seeing Baron Corbin now kind of get in the mix, and the 2 of you know, me and Baron Corbin, we don't rub off so well, but we have our ups and downs. And now he's coming back to that guy that I like to see, the guy that I want to see wrestle. He had a great match with Dragunov. So, Trick putting himself in those situations with those top-level stars is only going to put him in a perfect spot to where his NXT reign is probably going to be longer than all of those guys put together.
Ooh, and
I don't think I'm going to Braun. Braun was like for a year and change, bro. That's kind of lengthy for NXT reign.
And remember, they got to sell TV. They trying to negotiate TV deals.
That's true.
And that's the reason why, like, I'm not so like, oh, Melo needs to be on the main roster. I like the hybridness that they've been doing, but you still got to sell that NXT spot. It's not like when the NXT Black and Gold that we love that had, like, the Kevin Owens, the Sami Zayns, they was just on the WWE Network.
Yeah.
And, before that, it was Hulu. But now you trying to sell to bigger ads, bigger commercials. You trying to get the 1.2 million viewers. So you got to have compelling stories and superstars. And that's why I love what they did when they had that Super Show, when they, put the hammer to Tony Khan on his birthday. because it was like, oh, we're gonna have everybody watch our product tonight. I mean, John Cena, Undertaker. Like, I was like, and if he wouldn't have said anything, it would have been fine. But Tony Khan did this. I was like,
Yeah.
you don't go head to head with trolls. Shawn Michaels and Triple H
Mm-hmm.
brought the WWE to the Attitude Era and new heights by trolling back and forth to the point that The Rock was complaining. Said, look, you know, Hunter keeps saying it, and Bruce Richards like, look, you either gonna complain or you gonna go toe to toe with him. You know, so you can't go toe to toe with them in the ratings.
Yep. And like y'all said
Nah,
earlier,
it is great.
like you guys said earlier in the show, you want to give Tony Khan an aneurysm? You do CM Punk versus the Tribal Chief in Chicago. Over.
Nah, that'd be
You gotta
that'd be
put that in
crazy.
Soldier Field. It's too cold for that. But you gotta put that in Soldier Field. Forget the United Center.
Yeah.
Just Soldier Field is crazy. Let's get back to NXT real quick.
Mhm.
So, Dragon Lee beat Dom for the NXT North American title. I think we can safely say if Wesley was in this match, Wesley would have taken the title off Dom.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Dom's time on NXT is over as of now. You don't see him coming back, but it did great for him. In the beginning, everybody was like, oh, Dom needed this, Dom needed this. Listen, Dom showed out. He's honestly my workhorse of the year. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He's my workhorse. Listen, Brian, I'm a hater, but I'm also reasonable. You know what I mean? I love Dom.
Cynical but open-minded.
Listen, Dom's a workhorse. He did all 3 shows. He took his fair share of bumps. Don't be wrong. He lost, as he should most of those matches because he's still learning. But Dom, listen, bro, Dom's like, what, 26, 27? Give Dom 10 years, and he's going to be cooking with gas. He's going to be that guy.
Yep.
But Dragon Lee, I don't see Dragon Lee holding his title for any longer. I feel like NXT has a lot of talent that can be in that mid-card level.
Right.
So, congratulations to Dragon Lee. What else we had? We had Mello beat my new favorite, Lexis King. And the only reason I like Lexis King is because nobody else does.
Really? Nobody else like him?
It's not
Man.
okay. I will say this.
Okay.
It's not
You see these faces? This is why I'm a fan now.
It's not that I don't like him. It's just the man has no charisma. I watched him when he was with Griff Garrison out there in AEW. It was just no charisma. Now I will say, what was their tag team name? The Varsity Blondes.
Club, Varsity Blondes.
The Varsity Blondes. That was a very 80s style. I don't know what they were thinking on that gimmick and just that character in general. But still, it was just like, the kid just, in my opinion, just doesn't have the oomph. He just doesn't have that charisma.
You seen Men in Black, right?
Say again?
You seen Men in Black?
Yeah.
The movie?
Yeah.
You gotta take that device when it comes to Lexis King. And you gotta snap. Look. So Brian Pillman, is in my top 10 favorites of all time. And I'm like, so shout out to Fam from Black Wrestling. We had this conversation where Ricky Steamboat is Fam's favorite, but he said he could care less about Richie Steamboat. Where I tend to give a second look to the next generation. Like I was a huge Davey Boy Smith fan. So I wanted to root heavy for D.H. Smith. Same with like Mr. Perfect top 5. I wanted to root heavy for Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
So, when Brian Pillman Jr. came out, I was like, all right, cool, I'm going to get behind this kid. He was in AEW. I'm like, I don't like this. Like, when he was doing this stuff at MLW, it's like, cool, it's developmental, it's the indies. AEW, I hated everything about it. I'm like, this dude needs Shawn Michaels. Like, it was no other way. Because I thought over there, being with Chris Jericho, he would get some of that seasoning. He wasn't.
Right.
So when he came in, I said, okay, now what I see is he's like, they destroyed that character and created a whole new character. That's what I like about it, and so I went in with an open mind. He got that crazy looking shape up. And then like the fact that he said, thanks for the PLE rub. I'm like, oh, that's genius.
My guy's a clout. He's a clout chaser, which is crazy. Because for the men's breakout tournament, everybody, all the young bucks, did like, hey, we here, we up. And then you got Lexis King just boom beating up Bear Hill.
That's my problem with Lexis King is like it's like a couple of weeks ago he had like this interaction with I think Briggs, and like I was watching that interaction, like there's something there. He's starting to come off the paper a little bit.
Okay.
My problem with it is he's nothing like his father. Like Like,
But that's the fun part because he's not supposed to be.
Well,
Because his
but
father didn't raise him.
he's so like trying to be crazy like his dad and it don't come off. Like when Brian Pillman do the crazy tongue shake head thing. I can't
Yeah.
see Lexus King ever pulling something like that off. Like this, the believable craziness doesn't come off of Lexus King.
I got it.
You know, so I think that issue of just Varsity Blondes, Lexus King, they're all like rebrands of his dad's former gimmicks, and it's like I don't think you could do that. It's developmental. Hopefully, he finds something along the way, but this one isn't
he
it.
will.
But he said it best that he's a clout chaser.
Yeah,
And that's the best way to.
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Listen, he's gonna be fun, man.
I will say, in ring, he's good, and you could definitely tell
Yeah.
he's light years ahead of a lot of these guys in NXT because he kind of has to slow it down a little bit, and it's understandable. It's PC. It's hopefully he can grow on me. Hopefully he can grow on me.
Okay.
So,
I'm hoping. I am, but as of right now, it's like.
You look at like Dom Mysterio, right? And you think back to 2 years ago around this time. It's like, ew, this dude is bland. What the heck? Like, and then he turned on his dad, and it gave him the opportunity just to get some seasoning and some road experience with some vets such as Finn Balor and Damian Priest. You know, and then just being around those guys. Like Dom Mysterio really was a developmental superstar on the main roster.
right.
Yep.
And Lexus King, he's the developmental superstar down there, but now it's getting the seasoning to really hone in on this character as opposed, like you said, the ring work is there, it's getting better. You know, is it like perfected? No, but you know, it's this, and I love how he like addressed who he is, but then made it clear like this guy didn't raise me, so I'm not carrying his name. You know, and as sadistic as his father was, like crazy, he would have loved that. You know, because
of course.
wrestling people are just built differently. So he was like, yes, destroy my name, scandalizing on them promos.
By all means.
By all means. Listen, man, he's gonna be in this breakout tournament. Ava Raine, once again. Is she like the assistant to Shawn Michaels?
Yeah, I think she's a GM now.
Oh,
Is she officially a GM?
Something like that.
I'm not gonna hold you. Sis still don't close her mouth when she talks.
From Colt to GM is wild.
Sis still doesn't close her mouth. I felt like somebody in NXT, they saw like some notes and it was like because she went. No, bro, I was rolling. I couldn't take it.
no, every time I see her, that is like a carbon cutout of her father. It's like
Just with hair.
right, like it's almost like I'm gonna be nice. I'm on y'all show.
No, go crazy. We've said worse.
Yeah.
We have said worse.
Yeah,
We have said
we've said
worse.
outlandish things on here before.
Our first episode's all about her.
Oh wow, like she looked good, but it's like you can't get past the fact like you like, hey, she thick. Dang. But then you're like, was she about to raise the people's eyebrow? I mean, like no.
That's what I said. I just thought she needs to throw away Ava Raines and come back as Donna Johnson.
Oh no! Then
And
they're gonna
just
change
do-
her to the Dawn. That's gonna be her name. That kid. How about we just call you the Dawn?
the Don.
But I like her. I think she, you know, the wrestling stuff, it'll come when it's time, you know. But she's great. She has great character work, so I like her in that role because it's different too.
It gives her a chance to talk. It
How
gives her a
ironic.
chance to talk and go
Yeah.
into it.
Did y'all
And
watch
close
Young
them out.
Rock?
Hopefully.
Did y'all
No,
watch?
I didn't see Young Rock. I didn't see Young Rock.
Oh man, because
Young Rock is great.
Yeah,
Young Rock is
you
good.
know, what was that dude's name? Who everybody thought was Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
Yeah, it is like how ironic is that, you know, the rumor is that Shawn Michaels was trying to block The Rock and had heat with The Rock, and look who's working with him,
Nah,
his
it's like-
daughter.
Yo, I ain't even put that together.
I
You're
just
right.
wanted to give us we were sitting here talking.
That's funny. Like,
That's like, yeah, that's honestly ironic, to be honest. 'Cause
Right.
it's Ava's another one. I feel like she needs this. This is great, and I'm hoping she gets better. I'm hoping she becomes great. To be honest, I really do hope she finds it all. But if the wrestling isn't there and the backstage does work, I'm cool with that too. I'm really cool with
But you
that.
see when Paul Heyman was like, Bloodline?
Yeah,
It's in their back pocket.
He's gonna add us to her name. She's gonna be Ava Raines.
right.
Oh man.
Just started up.
Oh man, imagine if we ever get Rock and Roman and she costs Rock the match.
Oh, love that.
That's the story right there.
We love disrespecting fathers in wrestling.
Right. I want him to be my tribal chief. We eat better. You left the table. You went to go to Hollywood. Roman been making sure we've been eating good.
You know what's funny? As much as I would love for her to cut that promo, I'm just imagining her keeping her mouth open that whole entire time.
When she's talking,
I'm just imagining her reading cue cards.
Now you know she gonna be reading off the hands just like her dad.
My dad, The Rock, sucks.
Bruh.
You left for Hollywood.
No, see, I was mad because, like, at that time, if y'all remember, like, you was either Team Rock or Team Cena, and so I was Team Rock. So when he did that and Cena exposed it, I was like, man, we can't even defend this Rock. Like, come on, what are you doing?
Yo,
Like,
The Rock's face was priceless.
Yo. And Gewurz, shout out to Brian Gewurz, he talked about it in his book. He was like, Rock was mad. He was like, because John Cena did like, he was like, he crossed the line. He's like, that's okay. All right, fine, cool, you did that. All right. But he was mad. He was so pissed. And you can see it, like you said.
see it in his face. He's like, oh, all right, it's like that. It's like that.
I'll see you backstage.
Yeah. And Big Show was like, "Whoa!" The Big Show was in the back, like, "Whoa, okay, buddy, you went across the line." He said, "What he gonna do about it?"
Yo, it's mad funny as a kid. Like when you're a kid watching wrestling, you think all this beef is real, but now they had a real beef.
Right.
they had a real beef, bro.
Oh man, we skipped Raw. Let's talk a little bit about Raw. Obviously, your boy Chano Pepsi Phil takes Raw as his choosing. I think we all kind of knew that was coming, right? He wasn't going to go to SmackDown. Definitely wasn't going to NXT, though. He did a great job at teasing it on Saturday night. Did a really good job with the crowd. But
Listen, if he would have went to NXT, man, that would have been nuts. Could you imagine? Could you imagine TK when they got to go head to head with NXT?
That's the back pocket. Because you see the photos online right now. He taking photos every day. But first was Cora Jade, then was Roxanne, then was now it's Nikita Lyons. And the word is like, well, I Punk taking pictures of only the ladies. What about the guys?
I was sending the group chat earlier. I was like, they're very lucky that all the husbands and boyfriends are very lucky that CM Punk is married.
Mm-hmm.
Because we already know Pepsi's track history, man. That man was running through that roster.
Go ahead, Brian.
I was looking through some of those names. I was like, really?
Remember, these girls, they idolized them.
Yeah.
So, you know, like they like, look, we grown now. You know, what's up? Come on now. Like imagine you being in the back right now and Trish Stratus. I'm gonna be like, hello.
Right.
Hello.
Well, but matter of fact, thank you, Trish. I think Trish every day.
I'm not gonna even lie to you. I was at WrestleCade during Thanksgiving weekend, and Mickey James bumped into me. I was like, "Oh my God, you're Mickey James!" Like, she's like, "Yeah, how you doing?" I'm like, "I'm good. How are you doing?"
See, WWE don't do Mickey no justice. It's from TNA. Because like when they brought in the crazy gimmick, I feel like she did shake it off, but still. But like, when she was at TNA, it's like, oh well, like they gonna call her Piggy James, right? They gonna call her Piggy James. Like, no, we like that. Right, what is your problem?
It was mad funny to bring it back to Trish. And when Trish was having that promo, she was like, I am not your childhood fantasy. I was like, bitch, you a lie. Because you know damn well you was.
Last week I asked you guys when Cody Rhodes declared his spot, in the Royal Rumble, saying he was going, I asked you if that was enough for you to go. You both told me not really. CM Punk now declares he is going to be at the Rumble. Now you got Punk and Cody Rhodes. Is that enough for you to say, I'm going to Tampa Bay, I'm going to go watch the Royal Rumble live?
No.
Yes.
It's not.
I was going before this. I was planning on going before these announcements. So
yeah, we're going to definitely link up, Brandy.
That's going to be fun, man.
Why no?
Because are they going to give... I feel like for Cody, you got to give Cody the number 1 and the number 2 spot, right? They gave him 30 last year. You can't give the man 30 again. If you give him 30 again, like, My man's is in the back just cursing out H. Like, Paul, you're gonna give me number 30 again. If you don't, I'm going right back to my guy TK and the moderately aged Bucks. You know what I mean?
Bucks.
So it's like he can't come out 30. He's gonna go 1 and 2, and then obviously to preserve Punk because we don't know when his first actual televised singles match is gonna be. We know when he's doing house shows against Dom, which is pretty safe. So it's like for Pepsi, like, is he gonna be number 30? Is he telling me I gotta endure Cody Rhodes from 1 to 29 to get to CM Punk?
You know what's funny about that though? Because you bring up like Cody Rhodes being 30 or number 1, but like if Gunther comes out at any spot not number 1, he should win the whole thing because he survived the whole thing like last year from 1.
Either, but they're not gonna have him do 1 and 2 again. They probably have him do like 20.
No, that's what I'm saying. If he comes in at 25, he should win the whole thing. He's an Iron Man last year. It's gonna stop him this year.
They gotta study him, and he can't just go out by one person. You know, he must be eliminated by a group of people.
Seriously,
he'll get the Diesel spot.
Yeah,
then he gotta get he gotta be double or triple T.
This year, buddy.
Get him out of here. So it's like the thing is with the Rumble. Last year's Rumble was kind of disappointing. The men's Rumble was kind of disappointing because it's like we obviously knew who was going to win it, right? We all knew once they started announcing Cody Rhodes was getting back at the Rumble that he was going to win the Rumble.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. I think we all kind of had the feeling he was coming in at 30.
Mm-hmm.
They wasn't going to risk that boy for nothing at all. So Cody doesn't do it for me. Cody's extremely talented. I think Cody's most talented in the world. But when I see Cody, I think of the Red Power Ranger. He fights for everything that is good and right in the world. You know what I mean? He does. Like if Cody sees you getting jumped in the back, like if I'm getting jumped in a random street in like New York, I have expect Cody Rhodes to come out and save my life.
He gonna do
Everybody gets one.
Everybody gets one.
He's on his way. The American Nightmare's on his way.
Yeah. Wow! Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I fully listen.
At least he don't dance before he come out there, though.
Facts. It's better than Jay Uso going, ooh.
I need help, Jay.
But I'm saying, I can deal with that, but Jeff Hardy coming out there and the music.
Jeff, I need help.
Jeff, I still told Tim's, please help me. Yeah, man. Cody's just all things good. As an adult, as a kid, I love the baby faces. Mm-hmm. But as an adult, I love villainy.
Of course.
I am here for evil. You know what I mean? And my man has no chinks in his armor of being a great stand-up guy.
Look, that's why he got to lose again. He got to get mad. He got to get angry. You know, I already told my kids I can't watch a Roman Reigns match with them because the 2 matches I watched, starting last year was it New Year's Eve or the eve of New Year's Eve, Roman lost. Night of Champions, Roman lost. Money in the Bank, Roman lost. I ain't watching no more Roman Reigns matches, y'all, because my son loved Jey Uso. My daughter, she just followed whatever her brother do. And I'm like, but they don't like the tribal chief. I'm like, you need to acknowledge him. No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. WrestleMania took me out. My heart was in my stomach that whole entire Cody Rhodes match,
bro.
Like I felt physically sick. And as soon as he hit the second one, as soon as he was going for the third one, I felt myself just like gagging.
Ben got the photo of me like this.
And then I saw Solo. I was like,
I was so hyped. About to disappoint me 2 nights in a row, man. Bad enough got there and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn had to take the titles last night. You know, now they done messed up the bloodline. I told him not to trust Sami. And like Sami going, how you gonna go with the guy who always beats you up and turns on you anyway?
I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, if I was a kid watching that tag team match, I would have swore the Usos killed Sami Zayn of how many headshots he took, bro. My man took 25 super kicks to the headpiece, still standing. I'm like, how is this man still alive?
Yeah.
Well, like, where's your concussion doctor? Where's your eye in the sky to stop this match? This man is dead.
See, now I got to throw that match on tonight.
Bro, pump the minus super kicks Sami Zayn ate because he ate them all. Sami died that night.
He did a great job selling it. We had Wednesday. Let's talk some AEW. Samoa Joe started the show calling out Hangman Adam Page, saying he was the devil, saying he attacked Roderick, saying he attacked MJF. Chance, I know you're not liking the devil storyline anymore because it's just dragging on way too much. But it's gonna get
a novella,
good.
bro.
It's gonna.
No, it's not. It's not gonna get good. I feel like my grandma be watching shit like this, bro.
It's gonna get good. Out of that,
what did you about this?
Out of that promo, though, we did get the match. Roderick Strong, he's back after his neck injury that he was playing off. Right, had that match with Hangman Adam Page. It was a solid match, you guys. Really, really solid match. Page does get the victory by pinfall. I don't think Roderick is the devil. I told my brother just out of nowhere, I was just talking crazy. I said, you know who we haven't seen on TV for quite some time? He was like, who? I was like, AJ Styles. What if AJ Styles is playing devil's advocate right now and is the devil at AEW just having some fun with his friends from the indie scene when he was coming up?
Bro, I'm telling you,
I was crazy.
right now.
You did tell me I was crazy for even trying to think that.
I think you might be.
Yeah.
You want to see WWE stands go against AEW stands? Let AJ Styles pop up on AEW. I guarantee you the internet's gonna get ugly and I'm gonna be screen recording everything. It's going to get bad.
Yeah.
It will get bad, bro.
If AJ didn't have a family, maybe, but look, his wife probably like, no, we like these WWE checks. Like, we know AEW can pay you, but you get more benefits over WWE, and like, nah, stay over there.
You know how CM Punk was in? You know how CM Punk was in AEW for too long?
Yeah,
because he was so used to looking at one side, and now when he looks at the other side, he's like, "Wow, promotion can fill the other side of the stadium now."
Oh,
you
man.
notice Copeland doesn't look to the other side no more. He looked the first time. He's like, "Ooh, no people, sorry."
slander on a.
Listen, we got a co-sign now.
They got the Confluence of Classic still continues. These matches, I've been saying it, these matches are bangers, man. These guys are really just going at it. It's just really good wrestling to watch. Brody King Andrade, yeah, banger. Andrade, if your contract is up and the rumors are you going back to WWE, I'm cool with it. Just know that Santo Escobar has that spot now, and I don't know what they'll do with you because you're both the same. So gotta work.
I like Andrade more. I like Andrade more than Santos. I like Santos. I feel like Santos coming to his own, but I don't know what that black mask is for. But I want to find out.
It's his father's.
It's his father. His father's mask.
His father's mask.
Yeah,
that's some demented shit right there.
Andrade is the whole I'm a luchador without wearing a mask because you don't need to be a luchador to wear a mask. So that's his whole thing.
I think La Parka took it from him.
Yeah, La Parka. Yeah. So and he runs around with Roosh and his boy Dralistica, his brother. So
man,
Roosh is a monster. Speaking of Roosh, he had that crazy match with the legendary Jay Lethal, who for some odd reason Chano can't get behind, but it is what it is.
Who, Jay Lethal? I don't mind Jay Lethal.
I mean,
you don't mind
Jay Lethal. I don't mind Jay Lethal. I remember when Jay Lethal had that woo off with Ric Flair on TNA. I don't mind Jay Lethal. I don't got no problems with him. I got problems with the BCC and why they so boring.
Yeah. I tell my brother,
family.
I just want him to come back as the Black Machismo. I think that's why he keeps losing. Just come out as the Black Machismo, just do the money, and it'd be great. It'd be perfect. He could still have those woo offs with Ric Flair too, and the woo wings. Did you guys see that one? that was crazy.
Didn't the wings look greasy as shit though? The wings look greasy as shit.
The packaging.
Don't tell me that sauce either. Don't tell me that's no sauce because them shits look greasy.
They didn't look like some wings I wanted.
The whole entire time I was watching the commercial, I was like, Rick, please don't eat these. Your health is bad enough as it is, brother. Don't.
Bro,
don't
Rick
do
don't
it.
care, man.
Rick do not care.
He's like, look, I'm gonna die anyway. I'm gonna die happy.
Yep. Yo, Marcus,
I don't need water.
I don't need Jesus. I don't need water. Marcus, what you thought about that mid-ass promo?
Oh, we'll get to
by Kenny Omega.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Nah,
we'll get to that.
I just want to let you know
that's my what are we doing? Because we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We had Mark Briscoe versus Jay White. Your boy Jay White killing it, getting the dub. Mark Briscoe not winning a match. Oh well, I guess people are feeling bad for him. Some people were hating him a couple days ago, so at least he was on TV. They had the Dem Boys chant going on. He did go off for that. So I guess he kind of won there, IWC. I don't know.
You know why that happened, right? Because WWE on Fox posted them boys.
Yeah.
Well, like I forgot who they posted, and he was like, "That's me though." Yeah. He was mad tight.
But he has a reason. It's the holiday season.
Yeah.
I think it's the first one without his brother.
Yes.
So it was
It was on the year anniversary too.
Yeah. So it was purely emotional. You could tell. Tell after he sent it, he apologized.
He did apologize.
He was emotional. You know what it is, and plus, honestly, AEW stands toxic, so they'll probably put the battery in his back.
For sure.
They probably tagged him thousands of times.
Mm-hmm.
He probably had a fucked up morning. It's almost Christmas. He just went off.
That's why
I'm not gonna hold you. But I'm not gonna hold you. The WWE on Fox Twitter account, whoever runs that, deserves a raise because that man is or woman or they is cooking, absolutely cooking with gas. Yo, I don't know if you saw, but before when they announced CM Punk was making his announcement on Raw or where he was going. They posted a picture of like, Adam Pearce cooking up his offer, and it was like a bowl of cereal with hot dogs and cheese in it. Just like that's what he's cooking. How it's rolling. Then after he signed with him Raw, they posted a picture of Drewski. He fucking smacking a bottle of water off his table.
That's great.
I was like, Jesus,
that's great. Chana, your girl Ruby Soho took a L on Wednesday night to Rio, which was a decent match. I felt like it could have been better because Rio is really good. She's really talented in ring. Ruby's also, she's there. I do like her in ring work. I felt like the match could have been better. It was a little slow, but I do think what saved this match was Toni Storm on commentary because she's just been perfection right now with the Timeless. So that really helped out this match because other than that, the match was kind of a drag.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Toni Storm is gonna give me epilepsy because it keeps going from color to black and white way too fast.
Way too fast.
I'm gonna need you guys to check on me on Wednesday nights because they be doing it too much.
She had all this in her.
Let's talk about this main event. I know you want to talk about it, Chana, because your guy, our guy, took a L, and I don't know why, but both these guys are fantastic. It was a good match. The ending just sucked. And it only sucked because we wanted Swerve Strickland to take it to the house, and we wanted him to win and just stay undefeated. We didn't get it, and it was your first text message to the group chat was, "Why did I stay up for this?" I did nothing but laugh. I already did. I felt your pain for you. I guess my question is to you: do you think that was dropping the bag on Swerve?
1,000%. Listen, I didn't want Swerve to win this title. Because that means he has to do New Japan dates and Ring of Honor things, even though Ring of Honor is AEW. I just want to Swerve to build off this and look dominant as hell doing so. You know what I mean? I want to Swerve to lose in the finals. That's what I wanted. I want to listen. Swerve is your next star. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He is your next star. He has a look of a star. He wrestles like a star. He talks like a star, and he has Prince Nana. He has a star manager. You know what I mean? The Swerve is that guy. And I feel like the story to tell here was that Swerve is ready to beat your main event guys to be on that level with them. So to let my mans lose on a schoolboy, I wasn't even hot. I wasn't mad. I honestly wasn't mad. I was just disappointed because I was already mad when they pulled that bullshit against Jay White Full Gear. So I already expect this, but yeah, man, I feel like they dropped him a little bit. It doesn't hurt him in a long-term aspect, but for me, as a fan, as a viewer, to take him seriously as a main event person, it ruins it a little bit for me. Like, oh yeah, he's losing to John Moxley in the bum-ass BCC.
But Moxley's like the tippity top guy for them.
But that's why it hurts them more because like Swerve is like
Swerve could use that win more than Moxley used that.
Yeah, Swerve could definitely use that more.
The shoulder gives him an out though. That's the way I saw it. When the shoulder went up, I said, okay. I see what y'all did there.
When he grabbed the belt, he'd be like, okay, that wasn't clean. But Swerve isn't even a face. You know what I mean? He's a heel. So you have your heel losing on heel shit? I'm like, fucking John Mox.
He gonna be, he definitely, Moxley's just like Stone Cold. And I know it's blasphemy. But yeah, tweener, and we know Swerve is a heel, but it gives him an opportunity to have a gripe, and I think he's going to be fine. I definitely feel like, the way he's been cooking, I feel like maybe they're giving Moxley too much. Like Moxley he doesn't need this. Something else for him. Yeah. where you could make Swerve, but I guess it's like kind of also the safe route, and maybe like the same thing, they put the belt on Jericho as opposed to Page because they wanted him to establish it. I don't know. I think
Listen,
Bully Ray said Tony Khan is a matchmaker. He's not a booker.
Yeah.
So
and I agree with that. But at the same time, if you would have given me this John Moxley Swerve, and then Mox would have won on the Schoolboy in the semifinals to go to the finals,
mhm.
I would have been cool with that. You know what I mean? Because now I gotta willingly sit here and know that Swerve is gonna eat another L.
I got you.
I'd rather have Swerve had that one L off the Schoolboy, and they were like, man, I don't want you winning this tournament anyway. I want you to beat MJF.
Got you. Yeah,
I want you in the world. I want you in the world title picture. I don't want you in this mid card picture. Listen, I like Joe. I like Joe a lot, but I don't want Joe to beat MJF just for Swerve to take it off him immediately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd rather just have Swerve just take it off Joe and just dominate with the belt. That's what I want to see right now. And I feel like if you don't give Swerve the world title, you kind of like, okay, who's getting the belt? Adam Cole, baby. You know what I mean?
It's time to change that belt, though.
It is time.
It is time.
There's no, to me, when you look at longest reigning champion, I don't know. It wouldn't have been MJF if you'd have like gave me the blank sheet of all the AEW champions, he wouldn't have been the person I selected. But it seems like I feel like he's already signed, but for the sake, let's say he's not, it felt like he got him, by the grapefruits for the bidding war 2024.
Well, I don't think he was going anywhere anyway. You know what I mean?
No,
I think he just, because honestly, his character just in WWE would be so watered down a version of him.
So
you know what I mean? It doesn't matter that H isn't Vince. You know what I mean? H is not going to have you go out there in a promo and call the whole entire crowd pores. These are my pores. You know what I mean? Bro, nobody's having that, bro.
Everybody like to talk about MJF on the microphone, but after a while, all his promos start to sound the same. He go that high pitch, I'm going to do this, and you go do, look at me. And it's like, kind of like I said about CM Punk before, like when Punk isn't angry, how captivated are you by the microphone with him? Now, the promo he cut on Raw and SmackDown, I was like, okay, now I see it. But MJF, like, when a babyface promo, nah, I don't care. Like, I get he's had, like, real-life issues, but to me, he's been such a dick for so long that I don't care that he's a motivational speaker and all that. Like, it just doesn't work for me. So but I need to see him chase again. I want to see somebody else as the champion.
I truly do feel like they should have pulled the trigger on Jay White when they had the chance.
Yes.
And,
I agree.
1,000%.
And then you could bring back the heel version of MJF. But since they didn't do that, they had to go the babyface route and try to make him a good guy because he just beat the dude who was just going to be the man and be the face of the company. So they dropped the ball with Jay White. Now they're dropping the ball with Swerve and Chance's opinion. So who knows what they're going to do? Right now, you just got to love that Mox is getting his top guy treatment that he's always wanted. So, and he's wrestling every week. Got to give it to him.
Listen, me and Brandy was there at Grand Slam when we thought Moxley lost his life.
Yeah,
when he got hit. Oh, bro, we didn't know what would happen first. We just saw him got dropped, and then we got so mad the 3 wasn't called, and then it was like, okay, nah, this man is actually hurt.
Yeah.
And that was a
ugly.
little crazy, man. It was. Yo, Marcus, talk about your segment, bro. I really want to get into this terrible ass. I really want to get into this terrible ass promo.
All right. Let's do the what are we doing? And fellas, look, man, Wednesday night that promo. I want to know what we're doing with the Golden Jets because it's dragging. It's too much now. If Jericho is going to turn, let's just do it already. Just say he's part of the Don Callis family so we could bring that back on television and we could get the good things back on TV. I just don't understand how Jericho used to be so great on the mic. He's losing it. I don't want to say that because I'm such a fan of him. He's up there for me. He's definitely in my top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Chance, when you told us Kenny Omega can't cut a promo to save his life, you were absolutely right. That man, dude, it's just he just starts talking, and it's just like you don't believe anything he's saying. It was bad.
Bro, so
They brought up Enzo Amore and couldn't even get that over on the guys that they were cutting promo against. Like they really got out promoted by Big Bill and Ricky Starks, and they weren't even saying much. They weren't
Right.
even saying much. Like it was
It was
dry.
bad.
They couldn't get the
It was
fans.
real bad.
Yeah, yeah. It's just- he's
bro,
like, you could do. He's over here just like, what did he say? Like the big. He's with big dicks. It's just like, oh, you could do better than that. And I'm like, I don't think that's already. You already went too hard on the first name, bro. Like you didn't even try.
Yo,
Like,
then
it was just.
Then he said the Big Billy Starks.
Yeah,
he said the Big Billy Starks. Like he
couldn't even
get
that
some
over.
in his own roster over.
Right, couldn't even
not
get that over,
bro.
Thank God.
It was bad.
I will say this: the one great thing that Tony Khan has is his commentary team. Taz and Excalibur do an amazing job at just like when something's not working, just switch it up. Like, oh yeah, there goes the reference to Billy Starks who has her title match against Athena coming up. Great, you know what I mean? Because at home, the crowd wasn't feeling it, and then at home you wasn't feeling it, and you're just like, oh man, this is really boring. Like this is dragging a lot right now, and I just want to know what we're doing with the Golden Jets because it's becoming too much now. And at this point, like, is Chris Jericho an EVP as well? Because who's all hanging out with Kenny Omega? But it's I don't know.
He's a charge of creative.
They got their tag team match, right? He called out the tag team match. Whenever we get that, that's not something I want to see. To be honest with you guys, just
what was that, bro? I don't want to see, bro. I don't want to see that.
There's nothing more that frustrates me than watching non-tag teams fight for tag team titles. It just doesn't make sense to me, in my opinion. Like we have tag teams for reasons.
I got no slander for Big Bill. Big Bill's a Knicks fan, so he was safe. Listen, this the family, baby. You from New York, you're a Knicks fan. You get no slander from me.
Yeah, like your boy Cameron Cross.
Cameron Cross. Listen, he's a New York Puerto Rican, bro. He's safe. He's safe. But yeah, man, it was just terrible. Everybody says Kenny Omega is the greatest of all time in the ring. And listen, I see your argument. Kenny's beyond talented, but for me, you gotta be able to talk just a little bit, just to save your life. Just to save your life. Just for me to buy into who you are as a person. And you say you don't want to think Chris Jericho's done for him? He's gone. Bye. He's bye. Bro, it's terrible, man. Right. And bro, didn't Don Callis say that they were still beefing with Kenny Omega?
Yeah, they did.
Let's go with your boy TK.
What do you mean?
He's obsessed with Don Callis stabbing Kenny with a screwdriver. He's obsessed with it.
He's obsessed with it. There's anything, I've said it 1,000 times. If there's anything Tony Khan loves, it's screwdrivers and bad fathers. He's gonna put it on television. He's got you.
Said bad fathers.
Rey Mysterio Dom storyline in AEW, it would have been a killer for them.
It'd been just another day in the park.
Just another.
Look. Christian Cage been cooking. He's been the best thing over there.
Yep.
He has been.
Christian Cage has
proven
been
everybody he's better than Edge.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
It's funny because we missed we recorded an episode that we lost due to like them, and like me and Marcus were going there for like half an hour for like why Christian Cage was the best thing on it. We're going on AEW and why he didn't need to lose that belt to Bryan Danielson. And it was such a fire argument, man. I'm so bitter that we lost it.
What happened?
We were discussing it was going to be Bryan Danielson, Christian Cage for the TNT Championship. We were discussing, does Christian Cage drop the title? Because in my opinion, at that time, I felt like you didn't need the title to tell the Adam Copeland Christian Cage story. It didn't need it. Just let those guys have their match, and it's going to be fun. Chance, on the other hand, was like, nah, Christian needs it. You're Delulu. This is crazy. The only American Dragon I know is Jake Long, so we don't even need Bryan Danielson. Get him out of here. Christian Cage is everybody's stepdad. So we just got heated, and then we just had some technical difficulties. We couldn't get the episode out, and I watched.
So we was going in.
We did go in on each other. Then I watched AEW that week, and Christian was out there, and he cut the promo against Nick Wayne's mother, I believe, and I was like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, Christian Cage is television. This man needs to be on AEW every week, in and out, because he is saving their company right now. He definitely is saving their company. So, props to you, Christian Cage. I've always thought you were nice. You were the underdog, and I love to see that you played second fiddle to your best friend, and now your best friend is having a good job playing second fiddle to you. So it's perfect.
Yo, that match was so.
Oh, it definitely was. It definitely was.
I went back and watched that match from Unforgiven and No Mercy 2001 because I needed to wipe the stink off. I was like, nah, let me put it on the good one. This was the good match.
Yo, Brian, I got a question. I got a question for you. Do you think that WWE fumbled the bag by not giving us a proper trilogy for Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, in their current iterations?
It's coming.
It is.
I think it's coming. So
with the gold though, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the tribal chief with the gold.
You know, the new contract that Roman signed, I think, kind of threw everything for a loop. Before they introduced the World Heavyweight title, I wanted them to give us Seth versus Roman at 40. I felt like it would have been, like you said, just a proper trilogy. You know, Seth always said, like, well, I beat Roman. Roman ain't beat me. So I thought that would have been perfect. Roman goes over. I want Roman, as much as Hogan's my guy, I want Roman to pass Hogan. So in order to do that, he got to go to September. Do I think it's going to happen? I wouldn't bet on it. The last 2 years going into the year, I kept saying, yeah, Roman's going to finish the year. He's going to start the year's champ. He's going to finish the year's champ. I ain't so confident about 2024. I was that confident about 2022 and 3. But I do think it'll eventually get back around there. I just don't know. Like, I don't know which way, you know. It's hard for me to see both of them losing at WrestleMania this year. Just because, like, but if I had to bet on one, I would say Roman would be the one losing. Just because I feel like they gonna think people ain't gonna want to tune in, even though they showed us. I just would say, if anything, I would make. All right, Roman. 2023 was a vacation year. We about to increase those dates again. That's what I would do.
We talk a lot about Roman beating Hogan, and like you said, that had to continue on to September. We talk about a lot. We had one guy on here who believes that Randy Orton should dethrone him, but the three of us feel like those are the kind of names Roman needs under his belt to solidify how great his championship reign was. So, like, can you see him going over right now, like Randy Orton, CM Punk? What if Gunther, decided to go, try to challenge against him? Like, are those going to be the guys to say, even though he didn't beat Bruno, Roman still had one of the greatest championship runs in WWE history?
Yeah, I think so, because, people can talk about the amount of title defenses, but if it's not memorable or if it's just like random, how great is it? You know what I mean? But it's like that list of, like, when you think about Michael Jordan or you think about Kobe, you think about who they beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
LeBron, to an extent, you think about who he beat, but like better example, Dirk Nowitzki.
When I was thinking,
yeah, everybody talks about his title reign or his championship run. Who'd he go through? Kobe, KD, and Westbrook, LeBron, and D Wade, and then somebody else.
Right? I think it was the Spurs round one.
Yeah, Duncan.
Yeah.
So that was like probably the greatest obstacle course to a championship. Because he literally beat at least 2 people who you could say is the greatest basketball player of all time, and 3 is the greatest scorers of all time, right? So I would definitely love that for Roman. That's the reason why I say you can go another year. Personally, I always thought that Roman shouldn't lose the championship to somebody he beat already, And I felt that way with the world title. It shouldn't be on anybody who Roman beat. That's why I thought either Seth, AJ, or Bobby Lashley would have been perfect. Bobby Lashley is another name. We haven't seen them two mix it up. And I think you could tell some stories right there with the Street Profits and Jimmy and Solo with Roman and Bobby. So they still got ways to go. I hope they do. If Cody wants to tell the story and create his own, he wants to finish the story, then just like his father, it's not going to be just that quick.
Right.
Remember, it took a while for Dusty to get over Harley Race or Ric Flair. So it would be nice to see him kind of go through that twice.
But to your thing, So we've seen how much of a down year Cody has had, though.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because none of his storylines outside of Brock was like relatively interesting in a sense. Like his beef with Brock was cool,
Mhm.
even though we didn't understand the proper reasoning for it. Still don't.
We
I
never
mean,
did.
Brock,
he had to
Brock,
prove it. Brock was like, you have to
Brock
beat
just
me.
found problems.
Yep.
You know, his beef with Judgment Day was kind of weird because he went into a tag team with Jay. He had a little feud with like Dom for a little bit. Like overall, like even with Shinsuke, this year has really been a wash.
I feel like it's more about getting pinfall victories, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was like
it's all wins.
what we were supposed to
all
get
wins.
last year. That's what we got.
Exactly,
It's just
because he
that
got hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, he got hurt. Like he had to get all his stuff off with Seth because they was arguing over who was Dusty's kids. And then it was like, okay, where are you, just racking up wins. So I kind of feel like it was like, okay, let's hit the reset button. He probably would have got Brock last year. You know what I mean? That probably would have been the SummerSlam match. Let's say no injuries, turn off the injuries on 2K. That would have been the SummerSlam match as far as the semi-main, and the main event would have been Roman and Randy.
But that being
Okay.
said, though, if Cody loses to Roman again, does that hurt Cody at this point? I'm like, all right, you just can't, because it's like I don't.
better.
The thing is, I don't see any real interesting storylines for Cody. Like I said, he's the Red Ranger. You know what I mean? He's all things that's right with the world. Unless he starts beefing with like Gunther or something, you know what I mean? Like I don't necessarily see a feud with him that's relatively interesting. Like I don't see Cody with the championship being an interesting character outside of Cody and Randy. Cody and Randy's probably the only interesting match that I want to see from Cody as a champion. Other than that,
Randy cost him the title.
I hope so.
What I want to see is Seth and Cody, like that whole feud, and then like Cody have a championship, and then Seth beats him for the championship. Lost 3-3, but beats him for the championship.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
I really wish he wouldn't have said nothing about that title not being for the story. You know,
I do too.
At the end of the day, it was about Dusty holding the world championship in WWE.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if you want to get technical, the title that it's the undisputed championship, but the longest reign and the one that's most associated with Roman is the Universal title. As he would say, that's his baby. You know, so it's like that's the equivalent. Essentially, neither one of those championships. It's not like he's looking at the same belt that his father couldn't get or held up, and So I wish he wouldn't have said that. That's not the title. It's got to be the WWE Championship.
Yeah, he locked his place in WrestleMania with that comment.
That's
Roman.
That is probably you're right. He was smart about that.
We were.
It sucks though, man, because I don't want to see that match. But here we go.
Here we are.
Like the other thing about Roman is like you can't beat Roman as long as he has his cousins around, and his cousins are still around. So,
still love him.
WrestleMania 41.
He said he was gonna tear him apart. But I talked to Drew McIntyre WrestleMania weekend, and I said, "What kind of advice would you give Cody?" He said, "Man, I don't know." He said, "You got to go knock them all out. I'm gonna go to the Rock's house. Rock's my guy, but I'm gonna take him out too." He's like, "You got to go to the doors and one by one and knock him out, and then you get Roman by yourself." But then we done seen the other Fatu at Booker T school.
Yeah.
That pipeline. He could show up. Jacob Fatu, they could sign him. He could show up. Lance on the wire, he could show up. Anybody can show up. They deep.
They are deep.
Yeah.
And they all know they eat well because Roman's at the head of the table. Now Jay need to get himself together and get back in line.
Thank you.
I kind of agree.
Talking about main event. Somebody said main event, but open up the show.
Right.
Come on now.
We talked about a little bit, Brian, me and Chana, we had a small discussion about John Cena's biggest rivals. When you think of John Cena's biggest rivals, what's the first name that comes to your mind?
Randy Orton. It's always, to me, it's because it's the Hogan Macho Man effect, right? You got these generational rivalries that when you got two top guys. So you look at the generation: Hogan, Macho Man, Bret, Shawn, Austin, Rock, and then there, for the little bit of time we had it, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, and then you throw in, in WCW. Of course, the world was like the NWA is Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, but WCW is Ric Flair and Sting. That's probably a problem with Goldberg. Goldberg never had that sidekick dance partner, you know. But you see, then it's John Cena and Rock, you know. I mean John Cena and Orton, you know, because it probably would have been Batista, but then it just felt like, you know, John Cena Orton just felt more like leveled.
Yeah,
you know what I
natural.
mean?
Okay.
Yeah. And then, you know, now the next generation, it could be Seth Roman, even though they don't dance all the time. It's probably more so Brock and Roman. But yeah, I definitely say John Cena, Randy Orton.
Okay. All right, Chance.
Good man.
Chance,
Good
I
man.
guess.
I was getting mad ish about Edge.
I said Edge.
Yeah, we chose Edge.
I think John Cena's Edge's best opponent, and best rivalry, but I don't think Edge is John Cena's best.
Okay, yeah, I respect that.
The reason I agree, the reason why I said Randy in the first place, if like you said, Randy and John, they were true equals.
Yeah.
When John and Edge started fighting, John was already a main event talent. You know what I mean? He already survived that elimination chamber at New Year's Revolution. You know what I mean? Like he already survived that. He was already a star. Edge needed John Cena to drag him up.
Yeah.
So they can see eye to eye. And even at first they didn't see eye to eye. When John had that rematch, he squashed Edge pretty fast for that belt back. You know what I mean? And over the course of time, Edge finally became the equal. But Randy was a true equal off the jump.
And you know what else you could say too? Which one, if you could replace, like if one's hurt, who could you insert in and still feel like the show can go on? You can still keep the car going, right?
Right.
If John Cena get hurt, you can still keep it going with Randy Orton, and vice versa. You know what I mean? And then like even with the women, Trish and Lita, 4 horsewomen, throw any kind of combination. You know, right now it's probably, you know, Sasha Bailey, Charlotte, Becky. You know, so it's just yeah, that's the way I see it.
Okay. I still think it's Edge in my opinion, but I do like the explanation on the Randy Orton. We have our co-host, the Zombie King, always does a double tap of the week. Sadly, he couldn't do it, but he is going to allow Brian H. Waters to do it. Sir Brian, what is your double tap of the week?
So that was favorite match, right?
Your favorite match throughout the week this week of wrestling.
Yeah. The women's Iron Survivor. You know, just to see them go out there, Tiffany Stratton,
Superstar.
Yeah. You know, it's lazy to say the next Trish Stratus, the next Mandy Rose. When she had her feud with Becky, she went out there showing like, no, I'm different.
Yeah.
And then to see her, you know, the moonsault. I mean, the swanton off of the penalty box. Lash Legend becoming a star in front of our eyes.
Yep.
You talk about the proper reset button. Somebody who was in NXT, you know, I didn't really like the back and forth jobbing her really just jobbing Nikita Lyons. I was like, why aren't they going back and forth? But, you know, she went to level up, as Bruce Pritchard would say, learned a new hole. You know, she has a different look. And if y'all look at it and pay attention, she's kind of being prepared to be maybe a counter to Jade in 3 or 4 years. Kind of like, okay, like kind of like an answer to her. Not their version, but like you're gonna have like these two titans clashing.
Right.
You know, down the line. But it's, you know, and they both, like, let's be real, got the same level amount of greenness. So you can really create these superstars. So, but yeah, that was definitely my favorite match.
No, I definitely agree with you. I think everybody in that match, somebody that I'm definitely a fan of is Kalani Jordan. I think she's going to be fantastic.
She's going to be great. Yeah, I agree.
I'm waiting to see. I want to root for her. I am rooting for her. I wish, man, I was so mad when Dana Brooke got cut because she finally had something.
Yeah.
And I did a deep dive one day with my older cousin. We sat down and watched the Mid-South DVD, the Legends of the Mid-South Blu-ray. And he's 6 years older than me. So he remember, like, he's explaining why he loved the territory wrestling and the studio style. And, you know, so we breaking it down. This was like 6 years ago. And he broke down the feud of Mr. Wrestling 2 and Magnum TA. And he said, look, he's coaching him. He said, watch this. And now he's coaching him. He said, because he's planning to turn on him. And I saw it with those two. I said, oh, okay. You know, because every time Kalani Jordan get hyped, Dana Brooke be like, no, what are you doing? You ain't do nothing. And I said, oh, this is coming. But then, unfortunately, she got released. We did a Dana on the TWG fan club. Shout out to Quee PR and Ciendo and Justin. We did a Dana Brooke appreciation night. And, man, she got a lot of fans out there. You know, she got a lot of fans out there. I wish I would have loved to see her come back. You know, I think that she's probably like a victim of like when they was doing the cuts, like, oh wait, she get main roster money on NXT. You know,
yeah, I think that's one thing that female locker room lacks. Kind of is a veteran woman in that NXT locker room, someone that they can ask questions and learn from. So much not so much like a CM Punk, you know. And I thought it was really good when Natalya was over there, and I think Natalya should be over there a little bit more, teaching these girls on, you know, how to just run the ropes and what to do and what not to do. But I think,
and she probably will be. It's in Florida, so it's probably down the street.
Yeah, you know? You're absolutely right. But I do. Every woman that was in that match was just perfect. They all had their time to shine, and they all did incredible things. And it was better than the men's Iron Survivor Challenge. So, you know, kudos to them.
A lot better.
Kudos to them.
I like the men's too, but I understand why you feel that way.
Listen, Super Trick Williams is now a thing, man. Four pins in 90 seconds is absolutely bananas.
Wild.
Wild.
Hey, Brandy.
Like he caught the first two. I'm not gonna hold you. I was looking at it. I was like, no way.
Oh, this is about to happen.
No way. My man is about to happen.
It was like, let me see what's going on in Collision right now because I already know what's gonna happen here. But hey, with that being said, Brandy, what's your down bad pick of the week?
The down bad pick of the week, and if you don't know what that is, that's when I picked a wrestler or wrestlers who have had a rough week. And this week, I've honestly wanted to make this pick for a while now, but it just seems perfect right now. Chase U, Andre Chase, throwing bake sales, major debt. Every time they kept bringing up debt, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like $1. It's gonna be like $2. No, it's like, apparently it's really significant.
Yeah.
So they got like a total of like $325 altogether.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
It was like a tenth of the interest.
a quarter of the interest. And my man's like shirt is all like disgruntled and like it's just Andre Chase, you're down bad. And then Thea Hall, another member of Chase U. I love Thea Hall. I think she's actually amazing. But this love interest triangle thing they're doing, I'm not with it. But it is giving the cringe character of Thea Hall more cringiness. But I was hoping they didn't go that route. But yeah, so Chase U, Andre Chase, and Thea Hale, you guys are down bad.
Down bad.
Yeah, they down bad. They down bad. What about what's up with the Coro, Chana? What's going on there?
All right, so if you guys don't know, the Coro was something that I love to see in wrestling this week. So finally, after all these babies were born and all these engagements happened and marriages, we finally go back to son actually wrestling. CM Punk being on NXT and helping the youth. Me personally, I feel like it's a big middle finger over there to TK. You know what I mean? Because these kids will actually listen to him and not use real glass. So just seeing CM Punk, it actually feels like his natural element in a sense where he actually wants to be there with the youth, help guide the next generation, and maybe there's rumors of him running NXT one day. Wanted to run NXT one day. So honestly, we love to see it. We love to see CM Punk beat the "I'm a terrible person" allegations. I start shit just to start shit. Because it's not true. Listen, he's human just like the rest of us. And honestly, if I would see Jack Perry with those muffin chops, I would have wanted to punch him too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold you.
It's 2023. You can't be doing things like that.
Nah, bro. You can't do a spot after beefing with somebody about the spot. You ain't looking at the camera. This is real glass, bro. Listen, I know CM Punk lost in the UFC twice, but bro, he's still a trained fighter at this point.
But going back to the point, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? That's the point right there. What you just said, the fact he's trained.
For real though. But so going back to CM Punk and this announcement of him being with NXT, do you guys think that has anything to do with the contracts coming up? Like all those contracts you mentioned earlier, Brian. You know, just like throw his name in there, like, oh, he's gonna run NXT one day. So it's like, oh, Warner Bros. Like, word, like we want NXT now.
Was SmackDown and NXT already spoken for?
Oh, so it's just Raw.
It's just Raw.
Oh, and that's gonna be on TNT and TBS.
It could
be.
They're talking about moving AEW to the Discovery Channel, which is crazy.
I don't know, because I think the Discovery Channel just signed with that professional midget league wrestling. So
word?
Yeah.
Well, Discovery Channel is under Warner Brothers, so if Warner Brothers want to move them over, they will be.
Yeah, so the Discovery Channel is their FS1. That's kind of crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
It's crazy because like they I thought I saw something where it said like they could be ready to terminate their relationship with Warner Brothers, Tom Warner Brothers, you know, because like if you get WWE, like you really gonna turn that down? If you know y'all can come to an agreement. Imagine
that contract is up next year.
Inside the NBA, like Charles Barkley and CM Punk, or Charles Barkley and Seth Rollins showing up on there. Yo, that would be crazy. Like,
that would be crazy.
They would do it right.
You
like,
could have
it was in the beginning.
You could have Roman Reigns and Draymond Green for the undisputed titles.
Hey Roman, we need you to go to Raw just because, real quick, you know.
But there was rumors that when before NXT was announced to go to the CW, that they wanted Ring of Honor. And TK was like, nah, I want to package them up. Honestly, to me it was dumb as hell, because honestly, Ring of Honor is on YouTube, bro. Any money you should be grateful for.
100%.
It used to be on there.
Yeah.
At least here in Baltimore, it used to be like doing the Kevin Steen and Generico, late Generico and All Night Express. That's where Ring of Honor was on. When they used to do those tapings every month here.
Yeah, man. Right. So it's just kind of like, I want to know what the plan. If let's say Warner Brother falls through for them, where's AEW going? True
they're
TV?
They're gonna do the.
It's owned by Warner.
Yeah, I think that's they could go the old school, like do the Dixie Carter route and just be on the channel guide.
Jesus.
They're going to Tubi.
Yeah, Tubi.
Tubi original.
Pluto Television.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine they changed the name of the TNT title and the TBS title to the Tubi Championship?
It could be black and pink and white and orange.
Oh, that's wild.
But that'd be so wild.
Oh man!
Could you imagine TK's face when he announces it? Because TK is mad excited when he announces anything. He'll announce everything. He'll be like, guys.
Oh man!
Just about tomorrow, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
I remember Ring of Honor. AEW could AEW go to Tubi?
I'm not gonna hold you. The AEW marks that they go. Let me go get some words.
I might get this.
Oh man! Hey, Ringsiders, that's all we got this week for the week of wrestling. Thank you, Brian H. Waters, for coming on our show.
Thank you, man. We appreciate you.
Oh man, I had a ball, man. Thanks for the invite.
Of course. Hopefully, we can do this again. We do a trivia show, and my brother sets up this random trivia show for us. So maybe we could do the Wrestle Realm versus Four Sides of the Ring for one of those custom made titles y'all got. But while we get out of here, sir, do you have any plugs you would like to get in?
Yeah, sure. Every week, Mondays and Thursdays, I produce The Masked Man, and sometimes like today, we've been doing this tournament, trying to figure out who's the superstar of the year. So me, Kaz, and Dave been putting that together. It's totally random. Like I think the final four was Gunther. And this is based on like the way Dave made this bracket, and he kept overruling me on some of them. But it was like it was Gunther, MJF, Will Ospreay, and Roman Reigns. Which one was the superstar of the year? So we, got that Mondays and Thursdays on the Ring of Wrestling Network. Every Wednesday Worldwide with me, Cal, and Ben. That drops usually around the afternoon. Then Wednesdays at 7 live on Those Wrestling Girls Twitch is TWG Fan Club with Queen PR and the crew being myself, Justin, and Ciendol. And then Wednesday nights at 10:30, 10:40-ish, the Wrestling Realm Now podcast live with me, myself, the real Dwayne Allen, Brother Brandon and Brother Hugh. And then I have a outside podcast called Breaking Through Glass Ceilings, which I in the archives is conversations with people about their journeys to success, but that part is being, rebranded and going to come back better than ever soon. But I do uncomfortable conversations where I usually just hop on trending topics and talk about. I want to get an episode in about the Draymond Green story, but I don't know if I'm gonna get time to, because it's been a very busy week. But I'll say this: next week on the Ring of Wrestling Network is Iron Claw week, so check that out. We got some interviews with some of the cast members. I promise you, you will not want to miss it.
Nice. I'm excited for that.
Facts.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, what about you fellas? What you guys got?
Hey, Brandon, you go ahead, brother.
It's same as always. Life and Times, LYFE, Instagram, and Twitter. X.
Listen, guys, I've been saying this for weeks. The only thing I care about is God. Months. Close to a year now at this point. The only thing I care about is this goddamn Twitter account. This Twitter account is my baby. All these hot takes, that's me and Martin. Martin gives you the pure love of wrestling side. I give you the toxic fun side of wrestling. All I care about is this Twitter account, man. It's 4 sides, SIDESOTR on Twitter or X. Listen, if you guys want, I'll make a MySpace account. It does not matter. Let me know where you guys want to find us.
Hey, I'm Marcus Hernandez. I'm with my guys as always. You can follow us on all social media platforms, 4 Sides of the Ring Podcast. Keep a lookout for this episode. Brian H. Waters, once again, thank you for coming on the show, doing this with us.
Yes, sir.
Ringsiders, you guys enjoy your weekend. Enjoy wrestling, and we will guys catch you next week.